Hello and welcome to Enchantment of Eternity's awards for 2018. So this is the second annual video where I, since I'm fed up with the Emmys, they're a bunch of bull crap. It all depends on who makes the most money and who rallies the Emmys enough to nominate their stupid TV show. I am going ahead and putting out my own awards in the same similar format. Of course, they're not really awards because nobody gives a crap, but it's the same sort of format where it's like Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Show, whatnot. I did this last year for 2017, so I thought I'd do it again here for 2018 because there's quite a bit of acting, cinematography, and whatnot that I liked that I wanted to point out. So the format, it will be the same as last year. Well, I will name the category and then I will name the 4 runner-ups, that is the nominees, in order from the one that was least likely to win to the runner-up that almost won, and then I will name the winner and give a little short blurb on why I believe they deserve to win. Cool. So let me go ahead and get started, and I'll start with the category of Best Special Effects, where the nominees are The Passenger, Westworld, Dandelion Sky, The Expanse, the USS Callister, Black Mirror, and What Past is Prologue, Star Trek Discovery. And the winner is Immolation, The Expanse. The special effects in this episode are particularly good with the hybrids attacking Bobby Draper. The way they had the protomolecule hybrids interact with the characters was very scary, very intimidating, and some of the space battles were also visually stunning and well done. So you gotta give it up to that episode. Cool, so I'll get into the next category, which is Best Editing. And the nominees are Anna Helger, Mako Kimastana, Andrew Secure, The Passenger, Westworld, and yes, I do apologize for butchering people's names. I'm not very good with pronouncing people's names. Next nominee is Stephen Herron, Black Museum, Black Mirror, Tim Struteau, Yotenga, Maniac, Stephen Roque, Dandelion Sky, The Expanse, and the winner is Brian Swanson, the showstopper BoJack Horseman. Now, I actually did choose an animated show for Best Editing, which I'm not actually entirely sure how editing works in animations. I would assume it's a bit different than it works in live action films, but the way the whole scene episode came together seamlessly with the different timelines and how it made you confused of who was the real character, because BoJack kept thinking that he was the TV character and he kept switching back and forth. It was absolutely seamless and brilliant. So even though it's animated, I do have to give it up to BoJack Horseman. Cool. I'll get into the next category, which is Best Cinematography. And the nominees are Colin Holt, Despite Yourself, Star Trek Discovery, Darren Liu, Lake of Clouds, Maniac, Christopher Lavessel, Blindsided, Daredevil, Jeremy Benning, Dandelion Sky, The Expanse. And the winner is Aaron Morton, Metalhead, Black Mirror. Now, I know a lot of people hated Metalhead. I'm not one of them. I actually really like this episode. There's a few of us out there that loved this episode of Metalhead. And although I was a bit peeved about their decision to do it in black and white, which I thought was a bit pretentious, I still have to give it up to the cinematography in this episode, which was absolutely beautiful. It has some of the most beautifully filmed sequences I've seen that reminds you a lot of classic films like Psycho and whatnot, and that's mainly why I like this episode so much. So gotta give it up for that. So we'll get into the next category, which is Best Score. Best Original Score, and the nominees for this are Renat Kurtman, The Sinner, Trevor Morris, Vikings, Dan Romer, Maniac, Raymond Djawali, Westworld, and the winner is Cliff Shorter, The Expanse. Now, last year I had a hard time with who would win the score. I love so many different scores. But this year was it was a lot easier to choose. Cliff Shorter, again, who's also one I chose last year. The Expanse always has the best music. It really heightens the episode. It heightens the suspense. I don't think The Expanse would be the show it is without the music. Although I would say the music in Westworld and Maniac were really good as well. But still, The Expanse takes it for me. Cool, so we'll get into my next category, which is Best Screenplay. Now, last year, I did kind of what the Oscars did, where I split this category up into Best Original Screenplay and Best Adapted Screenplay. However, I found that I couldn't do that this year because there were not enough options for adapted screenplay. Most of them were original, so I decided to combine it this year and just do one category, Best Screenplay, and the nominees are Justin Marks, The Sincerest Form of Flattery, Counterpart, Peter Gould and Thomas Schwartz, or Schnautz, however you say that, Winner, Better Call Saul, Elijah Aran, The Showstopper, BoJack Horseman, Patrick Somerville, Windmills, Maniac, and the winner is Georgia Lee, Triple Point, The Expanse. This episode was absolutely amazing, mainly because of the through story, how it just grabbed you, and I love mutiny storylines, and this one was done really well. It had a lot of different interesting characters, well-spoken dialogue, well-timed moments, a great screenplay for that. Cool, so we get into the next category, which is Best Director. Best Director, and the nominees are Frederick E.O. Toye, The Passenger, Westworld, Kenneth Fink, It Reaches Out, The Expanse, Cary Fukunaga, Yatagata, Maniac, Adam Bernstein, Winner, Better Call Saul, and the winner is John Hillcoat, Crocodile, Black Mirror. And again, Crocodile is another episode I know a lot of people love to hate on, but I don't care. I loved it. I thought it was the best episode of season 4. I thought it was absolutely amazing, mainly because of the acting and directing. And the way, because when there's a lot of great top quality acting, you always know that the director's involved in that. But it's not just the acting in this episode that's amazing, it's the way it's put together with the music and the style and how every sequence flows with one another, and it like perfectly tells a extremely dark character who just falls into madness. Anyway, so we'll now get into my next category, which is Best Comedy Show. So, Best Comedy Show, this shows that are more lean towards comedy and drama. So, which ones do I like? And the nominees are Final Space, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, The Good Place, The End of the Fucking World, and the winner is BoJack Horseman. Of course, BoJack Horseman, absolutely loved it this year. I thought it was one of the best years, and not because it was really funny, although it was funny, but also because of the character stories, the dark commentary, the just introspective of life, mixed in with a comedy show about a talking horse. Absolutely brilliant. Cool. So, now we'll get into the acting categories, and let's start with Best Guest Actress. So the Best Guest Actor and Actress categories are for, an actor who's in like 1 or 2 episodes. He's not a regular, not in it all the time, so it just pops up for 1 or 2 episodes. And the nominees for Best Guest Actress are Juna Temple, Autofact, Philip K. Dick's Electric Dreams, Maxine Peake, Metalhead, Black Mirror, Annalise Basso, Safe and Sound, Philip K. Dick's Electric Dreams, Kiran Sonia Sawar, Crocodile, Black Mirror, and the winner is Andrea Riseborough, Crocodile, Black Mirror. Yes, I talked about how I love the acting in Crocodile, that's why I had the 2 lead actresses as at the top of this list, and I thought Andrea Riseborough was amazing. There was a lot of like just intricacies, like very subtle performance that was very nuanced and very particular, very hard to pull off. I was so impressed with it, so that's why I had to go with her. Anyway, sticking with the guest category, we'll go with Best Guest Actor, and the nominees for this are Jesse Plemons, USS Callister, Black Mirror, Brian Husky, The Lost Art of Forehead Sweat, The X-Files, Douglas Hodge, Black Museum, Black Mirror, Zahn McClarnon, Kikasawa, Westworld. And the winner is Thomas Jane, Dandelion Sky, The Expanse. Now, Thomas Jane did occur in several episodes, but I think he didn't really occur that much in the season, so I still consider him a guest actor. In this episode in particular, he gave a really great performance that made you question whether or not this construct of Miller actually was Miller, because you saw him have an emotional side where he showed regret over the death of Julie Mao and how he was urging Holden to complete the alien circuit for him. It was such a great performance. So, next we'll get into supporting actor category, and we'll start with Best Supporting Actress. So this is a recurring character or main character that occurs throughout the season, and but in a supporting role, not a main role. So the nominees for this are Hannah Gross, The Sinner, Carrie Coon, The Sinner, Frankie Adams, The Expanse, Deborah Ann Woll, Daredevil, and the winner is Nazanin Bonadi. Sorry, I completely butchered that name. I apologize. From Counterpart. Now, she was really stood out in Counterpart for me because she was kind of there the whole time, but just in the background. You didn't really notice her until she got her own episode. And man, did she ever deliver in that episode. Someone who you thought was just a minor background supporting character really stood up and took charge in that one episode, and she just delivered. So I have to give it up to her for that. So, next category is Best Supporting Actor. And the nominees for this are Shazad Latif, Star Trek Discovery, Jonathan Banks, Better Call Saul, Jay Ali, Daredevil, Patrick Gilmore, Travelers, and the winner is Justin Theroux, Maniac. I love Justin Theroux. Thought he did an absolutely amazing job in this role. He played a really off-the-wall, eccentric, crazy character, and he did such a perfect job at doing so. So then we'll get into the leading actor categories, and we'll start with Best Leading Actress. So this is a main character in a lead role for a TV show. And the nominees are Kristen Ritter, Jessica Jones, Amy Adams, Sharp Objects, Jessica Barden, The End of the Fucking World, Rhea Seehorn, Better Call Saul. And the winner is Emma Stone, Maniac. Boy, there were a lot of great choices this year. A lot of great performances. It was hard to pin down. But Emma Stone in particular, I do believe this is probably the best performance of her career, in my opinion. And that's saying a lot, seeing the amount of Hollywood and Oscar-winning movies that she's been in. But man, did I think she absolutely blew it away in this. It was such a nuanced performance. It was so intricate. There was a lot of really hard emotional moments that she sold 100%, and she totally sold this character as first being someone despicable, but then someone that you actually got to sympathize with. Did an absolutely amazing job with that. So then we'll come to the final acting category, Best Leading Actor. And the nominees for this are Ed Harris, Westworld, Vincent D'Onofrio, Daredevil, Bob Odenkirk, Better Call Saul, and J.K. Simmons, Counterpart. And the winner is Stephen Strait, The Expanse. Absolutely loved Stephen Strait in The Expanse. This, for me, season 3 was by far his best performance. I mean, he was always good in previous seasons, but I never actually stood up and noticed him until this season, where he had to play, particularly in the second half of the season, where he had to thread a line of someone who was going insane, or felt like he was going insane, and was worried about his crew dying, and at the same time he was trying not to show it. He was trying to act like he was perfectly fine, but he wasn't perfectly fine, and he did such an absolutely amazing job at this, so I had to give it up to him. So we'll get into the final category, which is Best Drama Show. Best Drama Show of the year, and the nominees are Better Call Saul, The Expanse, Daredevil, and Black Mirror, and the winner is Maniac. Maniac, for me, absolutely blew me away. Though it was well structured, each episode was amazing, featured absolutely amazing craft, cinematography, acting, everything, and the story kind of really pulled throughout with great character stories. Also very mind-bending, very thought-provoking, and at times very cheeky and tongue-in-cheek, which also all work together to create a very amazing show. So that is it for Enchantment of Eternity's awards for 2018. I will probably be back next year for my awards, so we'll just have to wait and see. But in the meantime, you can check out my channel as I do many more videos on other shows like The Expanse, Star Trek, Game of Thrones, and Lost, and more. So be sure to subscribe so you can keep up with all of that. And thanks a lot for watching.